Good morning, YouTube. It's your boy Zulu Gullah. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Um, Moving around early this morning. It's been like it for a couple of days. Got a little ride, decent ride. So I might as well go ahead and, give y'all a little bit of my thought process pertaining to the Remy Ma Papoose situation and applying it to the broader spectrum. Definitely letting it be an example for the black community regarding love, relationships, and marriages. And the black community has a problem that it will not address. It refuses to address it. I don't want to go so much into them specifically as what has transpired. We know what has been done. Remy has stepped out away from her marriage, and she's also breaking it up. We know Papoose um, had an alleged fight with the side dude. Some controversy about that. What I will say is, Papoose has been one of the men that women, specifically black women, cry about, argue about, pray about. And he's also he's also been a mix of what they would say successful, street, not nerdy. Um, really don't know too much about like their height preferences and all those little stereotypical things they talk about. They want height, the 6'6", all that stuff. But not really getting into that part. But he seems to have met the criteria for them and shown with his actions. But you fail to realize he's taking on the good guy persona. The good guy persona is always going to be subject to disappointment within the black community. The culture just has that curse about it. Like, the good guy persona messes with most demographics in dating and relationships. It's not really respected nor valued. So let's just take the black community in the broader spectrum. The black community has a problem. The black community has a lack of discipline, a lack of self-control, loyalty to their partner. The black community is highly distracted. The black community is dealing with whoredom and whoremongering like no other. Um, the evidence has been proven by me countless times. Uh, Even other content creators, specifically, if you come with the historical aspect and you cross-reference when at one point in time the black community had the highest marriage rate out of all races and demographics in America, and then going back into integration, exit segregation, the inclusion factor where we were forced to deal with each other and really commune and take hold of one another. Not only did we have our marriages, we had our communities and businesses. So the inclusion, we started taking on the bad habits of greater society. When I had got into a heated argument on a panel that included BGS, and I was trying to explain to them that dating was a problem and that you shouldn't date and that you should court. And, I think the only thing that he probably said that made any sense to me was shotgun weddings, supervision of young couples, young people forming some type of friendship bond, communication, and visitation to yield a relationship and a marriage. It's the only thing he made sense when he referenced historically what he knew. But nobody understands the seed that was planted, the virus that was planted when dating became part of the way to choose a mate. And, you know, the research I did where it started out from breaking out of living in rural areas to the development of cities in the Industrial Revolution, where the white society and the immigrants um, exposed women to being pursued by many, many, many different men on all sides in metropolitan areas in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s. And the term city girls came about because well-to-do families, uh, upper-class citizens, and even law enforcement and governments, um, the culture overall, the society, regardless of it being a city or metropolitan area, was a woman should run around town with different men. And these different men will offer food, gifts, all the different things they teach you to do in dating, um, to try to get the woman to sleep with the woman. You know, and the women probably started out not used to it, but then, you know, over time they seen it as um, something to take advantage of, or it may even seem normal to them, not understanding it was wrong. But they were called, not only city girls, they were called whores because it was improper to do that, right? That was the first phase of it. The second phase of it was college, where people would go and interact in these liberal environments, and these different philosophies and things like that will come about, and it was all about the experience. You know, going out there and seeing what you like, trying a variety. Um, so college was the first real, I want to say, element that just put dating in a whole new spectrum in this country. That phased out the ways in which we used to go about forming relationships, marriages, and family. Of course, we know what social media and internet done. You know, it took it to another level where you got this hookup culture and hyper dating. So the end result is dating is whoredom. And I'm gonna put it together for y'all. And it's just an excuse to deal with multiple people. You know, saying you're single and dating are excuses for whoredom. You know, it people try to give it a legal justification, or, you know, a moral justification, not legal, moral justification for being able to go out and do what they want. And here's the problem, right? You'll have too many people in your system. Whether you're a man or a woman, you'll have too many people at some point in your system to be suitable, to have the proper mindset, spirit, self-control, and discipline to be able to be in a marriage, most of all, let alone a relationship, and to have a proper family. And you see the results. And when you try to talk to people and try to explain this to them, they try to write it off as, oh, that's old fashioned, or um, it doesn't make sense to try out one person at a time Instead of talking to multiple people, date multiple people, and you're going to sleep. When you're doing that, you're going to sleep with multiple people, man or woman. So that is my current diagnosis. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to talk about that because everybody's skipping over. Everybody talks about dating because they're trying to sell you dating. They're not telling you what dating really is and what it really does to people. And they call people 304s, but then they contradict themselves because the thing that makes people 304, they want to sell it. They want to sell you dating, right? So the black community has taken on the habits of the greatest society and got beside themselves. Men can't keep it in their pants, and women can't keep their legs closed. And everybody's racking up bodies. Um, and not only that, these new trends, socially, even politically, these new trends, where like you can just do what you feel. You don't have to stay in something when you're not happy. You know, I don't even know if it's old fashioned, right? Why do you have the historical marriage vows in weddings, and then at the drop of a dime, somebody can be like, "I'm not happy." In your wedding vows, it doesn't say uh, when you feel like you're not happy. Now, there's certain problems that have to take place that you can't fix that warrants you have to do what you have to do, but just I'm not happy or I'm bored or I'm tired of somebody. But that person's been producing, productive, that person's been consistent, that person's been hard working, that person has been um, loyal and there for you the whole time, but because you get a little bored and tired, you want to go do something else. I can see if somebody starts smoking crack. I can see if somebody starts getting locked up. Somebody damn near has it to where y'all be under a bridge of homeless. So those things are understandable. Of course, domestic violence, true domestic violence, in danger for your physical health, as well as your mental health. I understand that. But it's just like people have a lot going on in their head and in their system that they done to themselves, and then it affects other people. You enter into agreements and contracts knowing you can't fulfill them, knowing you're not in it for the long haul. And it's even worse when you use people. Um, I will say this because this is very important. This is very well connected to everything that I've just discussed with y'all, spoken to y'all about. What you do as a single person before a relationship, of course, while in a relationship, um, in regards to messing with a lot of people, cheating, and even after a breakup, what you do matters. A lot of people keep saying, "Oh, I'm single." Doesn't mean a thing. What you do still matters. A lot of people talk about, "Oh, we broke up, or we're on the split, or we were on the house." It still matters. It says a lot about you. That's why it matters. It says a lot about you. If I meet two women, and you can do it vice versa. If there's two men and a woman's meeting two men, one man and one woman, you've noticed has been seen with a lot of people. And then one man or one woman, you've noticed, hasn't been seen with a lot of people. Which one do you think you're going to feel comfortable with down the road? Not only just the likelihood of them cheating, but also being able to go around town in peace. And when I say in peace, I mean you don't have to worry about scrutiny, embarrassment, being viewed upon as somebody that's with somebody that is a laughing stock. You know what I'm saying? It can bring you shame. You know, if you're in a relationship and the relationship ends and it had to end because you were being mistreated, man or woman, and you as a man or woman had done nothing, the other person just didn't want to do right. And you call a relationship off because that's the right decision to make instead of dealing with the problems, right? And as soon as you, especially if they're already cheating, as soon as you in the relationship, the person is off and running with different people already. I'm talking about like a wild dog let out of a cage or off a leash, right? And that person wants to keep you as a friend, and you're supposed to reach out for them from time to time, communicate with them, be normal with them. And they run around like a wild dog. You know, what's the purpose of that? Uh, and then what if somebody like that wants to come back to you to do what? I'm telling you, what you do matters out here, man. It says a lot about you. Um, and this is the other thing, you know, it's like in the black community, they want men to be silent. You know, you want the man to be silent. The man's never supposed to say anything about what he prefers, likes, what he will deal with, and what he won't tolerate. His boundaries, his standards. You can't tell your black woman to cover herself up. You can't tell your black woman not to go certain places and be around certain people and interact with certain people. Uh, it's just a lot of stuff that to preserve the relationship, the marriage, the family, to preserve the love, and you as a problem solver can see where the risks are and the things to do and not to do. You don't want to be accused of as being insecure and controlling. And you know it's hard to get black women to pull from bad habits of the greater society that they think are normal and okay. You know, going places around men other than your boyfriend, fiance, or husband is a disaster. Following in behind the footsteps of your female friends who are promiscuous and participating in whoredom, cheating, um, is a disaster for you if you're in a relationship, a marriage, you know, if you claim to have love from a man. You know, going to places, certain times of the night, just about anywhere in general, um, at the wrong time period. Having male friends, especially ones that have already had sex with you or attempted to date you, you know, it's very simple, cause and effect. And then, you know, I have these discussions with women all the time about the things that they've done in their past sexually and the number of partners that they had. And, you know, sometimes they talk about stuff as like, well, I needed it, or I was single, or I wanted to have fun. But those things can resurface. And the problem with those things, not only with them being able to resurface those cravings, those thoughts, those habits, those urges, the thing is, you keep those things secret, and you don't tell somebody that you've done those things, and you don't give a person an opportunity to evaluate the likelihood or the chances of that being a risk factor later on if somebody gives you a relationship. So basically, you withhold information about getting to know you to try to be able to pass the commitment test. And that's also keeping these dudes around. These dudes will never give up, or they'll surface at some point in time. You know, some may want you long term. Some may just want to be able to dip and dab when they can. You know, the discipline is just gone, right? I mean, and they're black men out there that are horrible. Black men love sharing a woman. Weirdest thing I have yet to comprehend within the black community among men. And they brag about sharing a woman. They brag about sleeping with somebody else's woman. You don't know if the guy, you don't know, first of all, you don't know if anybody's healthy. You don't know if anybody has the good hygiene. You don't know when she last done anything sexually with any part of her body with the person that she's with. And you're willing to do unlimited sexual stuff to fulfill your ego by sharing a woman or somebody else. Black men are weird. Black men are rather dumb. I used to be in stuck in that cycle of being dumb. Uh, I tell women now I do not share. Quickest way for me to get away from you is let me find out you're cheating, or you allowing me to share. You know what I'm saying? Share you. No, you're out of there. There is no fixing that because I've been through it so much growing up that that's just one thing that I'm not gonna tolerate. I'm too old for this shit. Black men have been dating. Some black men, you know, use it for whoredom. Uh, a lot of black men have wasted money, time, and energy, thoughts, feelings on a female too early, too fast. Too many females too early, too fast. Uh, Aside from the whoredom, you know, dating multiple women is expensive when the custom is that the man's supposed to initiate, plan, and pay for the dates. And me personally, it's hard to date one woman, let alone date a bunch of different women, unless you're just dating for fun and whoredom, and you have the money to do that to throw away like that. Which is stupid, but you know, everybody talks about dating for a purpose. Nobody's really dating for a purpose because you can't date for a purpose because dating itself is defunct. It's a bad way to go about it. Now I was questionable. So how is somebody supposed to just talk to somebody, uh, one person at a time, and miss out on opportunities? I said, well, the thing is, you know what you like. You know what you like. You know what stimulates you. You know what you like. But that's the first part of it. The second part is, okay, even with that, that still doesn't uh, prevents you from doing the most important thing, which is getting to know the person first, to know how they are and what they offer, how suitable they are. You can pick one person at a time that you like, and you can go through a process with it. You don't have to do this numbers game and this crowding of people to figure out what you want, you know, and you can move on if it's not there. To be bouncing around from person to person, person to person to person, and sex is going to be involved, you are leaving an imprint on yourself. You're filling yourself up full of spirits, and you're going to wonder why you agreed to be in a relationship and you're not fulfilled, or you're having cravings and you want to run back to the streets. You know, and men in general, it's just like you get so mesmerized by beauty and booty and how the woman looks, instead of being like, let me take a step back and let me see if I can have enough conversation to get enough information so I have an idea about who this person really is before I take on a date, before I even uh, consider, uh, having feelings for this person and putting a commitment on the table. This stuff is classic, man. Like, the black community has a problem. I mean, it really does. Don't leave these TV shows out, like the Best Man TV series. Um, the Best Man TV series really set the tone to what black Americans find ideal: successful people, college graduates, uh, in professional fields, and everybody can be friends. After people have dated one another, mixed and matched and traded each other, everybody can still remain friends. You know, but it's okay either if we start back messing around, even though we're married to other people, and we're all still sitting at dinners and get-togethers and gatherings and parties together, in each other's face, smiling, talking about we're friends. See, y'all better learn that friend game I taught y'all. That corrupt friend game I taught y'all. Women get mad at me because I be like, man, we are not friends. We are not going to be friends. If I even offer you a friendship, you're only going to get that as a plus, as a default in a relationship, because the relationship comes first. That is the higher level. Why? Man, it's weird, man. I'm telling you, man, sit back and listen. And women love to throw that we need to be friends first. You see how they do that? I need to get to know you. We need to be friends first. You see how they do that? Even when they mess with other people, well, we're just friends. You see how they do that? Let me give you another one. You express to a lady that you're taking an interest in her. She talks about it with you for a while, or maybe y'all, have a couple meetings or whatever. And then she's like, well, I just think we're better off just being friends, just being friends. But then they turn around, we need to be friends first in order to establish a strong foundation for a relationship. See, they contradict themselves, and they take a word or a term and they try to make it so interchangeable that they take away from the true meaning of it, true definition of it. And that's why I don't play the friends game. When I hear that word, that's part of the greater society habit. One of those habits. I think it got real bad in the early 2000s when they came up with this term "friends with benefits." That's what I really think. It became at its worst use, you know. But this is what's been going on, man. Uh, it's just a mindset now, man. You know, everybody thought Remy Ma Papoose Remy Ma was a prototype for black love, especially in for the younger generations. But the black community has turned into a joke. I mean, the results. I tell y'all, the results are in. Most baby mamas, uh, least likely to get married. I've even got black women arguing that they're considering other races when the statistics show the other races don't even want y'all. Y'all so hard on black men. Black men are so hard on each other. Black men won't leave another man's woman alone. Black women aren't really monogamous and highly promiscuous and poly. And these habits that we've taken on from this society, you won't look at them and discard them. All these YouTubers are trying to talk about dating, to make content about dating, to sell you dating. Dating, 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 dating to the end of the world. I'm telling y'all, man, a black man who is aware and who is out here really trying and clearing the path from himself, he is being very conscious, serious, straightforward, upright. I mean, being able to think. It's hard, man. It leaves you in a situation where do you go? When you really can't look at the community as a haven, a place to go, a place to commune. And then you can't even get a female counterpart to where, you know, you will be more than happy to have to move forward with in the future. One little thing, man, and it's out the window. That's how it is now. This is your boy Zulu. Go to like, share, subscribe, comment, share this video. It's very important. If this video doesn't circulate, especially from a learning perspective, you know, I don't know what else to tell y'all, man. I keep making content. I keep, doing streams, but I'm telling y'all, this is a diagnosis, man. This is what we see. Just leaving on that, the black woman has a very bad attitude toward black men. And a lot of black men are being blamed for what the men they chose to deal with, they did with them. Now, both sides point the finger at one another, and both sides hash it out back and forth every day. But the black women have not taken accountability at all. And y'all group us based upon your own experience. And I keep telling y'all went out there and done some stuff that y'all wanted to do for the sake of fun, and y'all still blame us for that. How's that possible? I don't get it. But it's your boy Zulu. Gonna like, share, subscribe, comment, and yeah. This was an important one, man. I'm gonna continue on with the day early morning. So maybe I'll come back later. But enjoy the rest of the day. Top of the morning to you. Be safe. I'll be around.